converted B-17 transport plane carrying 41 US passengers and crew takes off into a foggy Queensland dawn. But a catastrophe is about to happen. For 2 minutes, the great plane struggles to climb. It's clearly in trouble, and as it tries to return to the airfield, it plunges into a mangrove forest, killing all but one on board. One lucky survivor somehow manages to walk away from the burning wreckage, but 40 others lay dead, leaving heartbroken families thousands of miles away in America.
It's sad to think what happened to him. It was a family loss that no one ever got over.
To worsen their grief, the authorities hush up the details of the crash, and the family's inquiries are met by a wall of silence.
My parents had received a telegram, and all it says was that he was killed in the South Pacific. There wasn't any detail whatsoever.
Witnesses are silenced.
They told us to be quiet. Don't talk about it, you know.
The Baker's Creek crash was the worst aviation disaster in Australian history, but its cause remains a mystery. Was it engine trouble? Was the plane too heavy? And has a young pilot been wrongly blamed for the tragedy for the last 70 years?
It was a perfect storm in terms of what caused that crash. Everything that could possibly go wrong was there.
Could an accident like the Baker's Creek disaster happen today?
It's still possible for a crew to mismanage a basic situation.
Can World War II air crash detective Garth Barnard follow a trail of clues across 2 continents and finally solve the mystery of the Baker's Creek crash?
The bit that's caught my eye is they're actually given the cause of the crash.
A remote site on a cold mountain in Virginia, USA, and the short flight of a B-25 bomber that eventually claimed the lives of 5 young American trainee airmen. An official report that is at odds with eyewitness accounts. The crash on Sharp Top Mountain in Virginia is one of many that are still the subject of debate and controversy to this very day. There are so many unanswered questions for the families.
They didn't know about the peaks, and had they been able to climb 500 more feet, they'd have been able to clear the peaks.
Now, World War II air crash detective Garth Barnard is able to do what, at the time, the US Air Force couldn't. He's going to carry out a full modern investigation into the Sharp Top Mountain crash, which he hopes will finally give the families of those who died and the local community some real answers.
There's molten metal everywhere.
Garth's investigation takes him to the remote crash site itself and out onto the surrounding towns to seek out eyewitnesses.
So I would focus on flying the airplane first so that it didn't crash.
A big ball of fire flew up in the sky, and then we got a boom.
He gets a unique insight into the challenges of flying a wartime B-25 bomber as he asks, what happened inside the cockpit that night? And was there anything else the pilot could have done to save the plane? Garth also asks if a similar crash could happen today.
We're all human, and when we make mistakes, then catastrophe can still occur.
He delves into the archives and speaks to crash experts, all to finally get at the truth behind one of the most infamous and controversial air crashes of the Second World War.
There's more to this. There's something went on here. This isn't just a navigational error. There was problems with the plane.